So here we are then for a brand new episode of our F1 2018 career mode on the 2018 season mod. You can find it on RaceDepartment, make sure you go download it, but that is the mod we're using for this season. Here we are then nonetheless in our Red Bull car, and it's raining and I've got a dry setup on, so it could dry up towards the end of the race, as you can see there from the forecast, but whether it's going to be dry enough at the end to go onto the dry tyres, we'll have to wait and see. But nonetheless, let's get into this race. So here we are then, starting from 6th place, so not the worst qualifying session, but we're going to short shift to try and find some grip, but that means Fernando Alonso is going to come flying up our inside. Oh, having to be very cautious into turn 1, but we can go clean around the outside of everyone. We got warning for collision with Magnussen, but we slot back in front of him. Very quiet around that start. Really had to be careful with these damp conditions here then at Malaysia. Probably my least favourite circuit on the grid to race and to watch. I mean, there's been some good races. Remember Multi-21, that incident round here with Red Bull, Mark Webber and Vettel. But in terms of racing it, not my favourite track in the world. And also it produces some interesting events in MotoGP season as well. Remember Marquez and Rossi, the infamous kick, or alleged kick, depending on what side of the argument you're on. But nonetheless, back into this race, you got Kimi just ahead, and the Haas of Grosjean. So obviously the Haas have been doing alright. Not alright as that traction though, but they've been doing alright this season, and it's reflected in the mod, which is nice to see. So Haas could be one of the teams to go to if you want a good shot at podiums and stuff like that. But running out wide there. Oh shit. They actually they actually gave me a warning for exceeding track limits and a warning for a collision. Excuse me, not my fault. Not my fault I got slammed into. But then again, not really his fault. So already our first mistake in these damp conditions. Not enough downforce on the car, and that has cost us. Look how much time that has cost us. Magnussen, it's also cost Magnussen. He's in the pits. I don't think I've got any damage looking from that one. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm shifting down instead of cycling through. Get rid of this thing off the screen. Right, we got Kimi Räikkönen ahead of us. We have a new rival for this race as well, and it's only gone and been Valtteri Bottas, who's going to be leading probably this race, although I think Hamilton might be leading it. Yeah, obviously Hamilton did have a DNF last race, so if you missed that race, go check it out at Singapore. Pretty interesting race, but I was hoping for a good result round here. Had some okay pace, pretty poor qualifying. We did make a mistake through the middle sector of the track, but overall I think I could have had decent race pace. But now we're here at the wet, the light rain of Malaysia. Intermediate tyres, dry setup, so if it dries up we're going to be quick. If it doesn't, then we're just going to be pretty mediocre. We've got Fernando Alonso behind us, and I'm just struggling with downforce everywhere. 2.9's the gap, so let's drive, and we'll just see when we start to find a bit of rhythm, a bit of pace, where we sort of settle in terms of the hierarchy of the grid. Right, so I've actually been catching up to Kimi, and all this like we've been set in purple sectors, but the rain appears to be getting heavier. I mean, at least it does from the screen. So we've got to watch out that we don't have to switch to the wets. I mean, our engineers just offered us an alternate strategy to go onto the intermediate tyres, but I mean, mine are only worn at 20%. So we've got the inside there of Kimi, who's actually stuck in behind Grosjean. 48.2 from Hamilton. So our ICE, another one, has gone into the yellow. Whoa. Wow, contact there with Romain Grosjean. I think I just cut in on him a little bit too eagerly. So we're down on power, but we seem to be going pretty quickly. Fastest lap of the race. What's the gap to Bottas? 4.8. So let's see if we can work on bringing that down. And I think I am going to have to pit on lap 7 then. Right then, so this lap we're meant to pit, but I've no idea what I'm doing yet. See if everyone else pits. Everyone else is pitting by the looks of it. So, I mean, our tyres probably won't go to the end, so I'm gonna bring it in the pit then. Bring it in the pit. Hamilton's pitted from the lead, so he must feel it's a quicker strategy. I was actually on a purple lap then, so maybe we should have stayed out, kept it out, but we'll have to see. Hopefully we'll come out in a bit of clear air. That is the plan, but Hamilton's just ahead of us, so we are catching the front runners. And with these new tyres, hopefully we can get a decent undercut on Bottas and our teammate. Right, so we're out in P10. We got Leclerc ahead of us. Hamilton, luckily for him, is ahead of the Sauber. But that's not good for us because we're going to be hot up the rears of that Leclerc and that Sauber Alfa Romeo. So we're going to have to look for a way past him, but Hamilton does have a Toro Rosso ahead of him to deal with. We're struggling for traction there. Loads more grip on these intermediate tyres. Fresh rubber. This is our chance. 10 minutes of rain. That's not enough time to switch. But I'll get the tyres ready just in case we do need to. Need to settle back into our rhythm. We've got Hamilton and the Toro Rosso of Gasly ahead. We've got a bit of fuel left we can burn off, but I'm noticing there's a lot more grip in these fresh inters. Well, of course there's going to be lots more grip because they're fresh, but I feel like we've got the pace. I feel like we've got the pace maybe to take the win here if we play our cards right. I mean, I'm going to go for a move up the inside of Hamilton here. He's going to go up the inside of Gasly, but I'm going to go up the inside of both of them, to be fair. There we go. So we're ahead of Hamilton already. And it looks like the rain's stopping. Well, it's gone very light. Where's everyone else then? So, who's that? That's Bottas. Our championship rival. Where is he? Oh, just get our nose ahead of him. And Daniel Ricciardo leading this race. Could he take back-to-back wins here? This Red Bull car is really coming into its own. But, I mean, looking at the weather now, it's really, really lightened up. The rain has. So 3.1 to Daniel Ricciardo. It's going to be a battle of the Red Bulls. Multi-21 could come into effect here. But let's keep these Mercs behind. And this could be a real turning point in the championship late on as we approach the last quarter of the season here for Red Bull. As you can see, we set fastest lap of the race. And we're closing in on our teammate Daniel Ricciardo. But we're also running low on fuel right now. As we lose the rear into turn 1 there. Wow. Let's really use some force to correct that then. But let's carry on with proceedings and catch up to Daniel Ricciardo, our teammate. So setting fastest lap once again then. With a mistake in the middle sector, we're really closing in on Ricciardo now. So if we keep doing what we're doing, we should end up on the back of him by the end of this race and maybe see if we can overtake him and take the win, steal the win for our 3rd win of the season, or else Ricciardo's going to equal our number of wins for the season. We've got to watch out on the fuel consumption here, struggling borderline really. So let's keep on pushing. So once again, a fastest lap of the race, and we're closing in by about 0.6 of a second a lap on our teammate. So he isn't going to be happy that we're closing in so quick, because he was looking to equal our number of wins this season. But a 1-2 for Red Bull potentially on the cards if we don't ruin it, if we don't get into a teammate battle and completely twat each other off the track or something like that. But I really do have to watch this fuel consumption. Obviously we're adding more power to this engine, but the fuel consumption we haven't really worked on, so maybe that is something I'm going to have to work on for the potential upgrades rather than going into aero, but I'm not too sure yet. But nonetheless, let's carry on. So onto the final lap then. DRS has just been enabled, so the track is drying up. But we've really got to watch this fuel consumption. Look at that, we've been in standard, but it keeps dropping us back down, and we've actually lost time to Ricciardo. Oh no, we've not been able to do it on this last lap. We've lost time to Daniel Ricciardo. He's responded to our pace. Struggling now with tyre wear. Still more on the fronts. I mean, if you look at this, 1.9 seconds is the gap now. We did get the gap down to about a second, but that's gone up. And we're just struggling for front end grip, understeering everywhere. I think we're going to have to just accept the fact we're not going to be able to beat our teammates. Look at this, there's just no turning. Look at the tyre wear. It's because it's drying track now. So, oh no, the Mercs have caught up now because of that. And fuel. Oh, it's all going tits up now at the end of this race. Keep it in lean. Keep it in lean. Oh, look at the rear going on us. Really struggling in this drying track. Use that power. Well, we don't really have much power now, but I'm going to have to work on the fuel consumption for this car. Going to go defensive into the final corner. Don't give them room, don't give them room. Daniel Ricciardo takes back-to-back wins then here and equals our number of wins this season as well. So 2 wins for each Red Bull car now. We really need to get some more wins under our belt. Needs to start qualifying though. But 1-2 for Red Bull then. Really good for the Constructors' Championship then. So let's see how the standings line up. But before that, we've got us on the podium then, 1-2. And Adrian Newey. But crucially, we're ahead of Bottas, which is going to close us down in the championship. Here the race standings then. See, where is Vettel? Where's Vettel? He's nowhere to be seen. Where is he? Oh, look at that. That's disappointing for Ferrari. So that's going to change up the championship, surely. We're now only 20 points off of Bottas, so we're closing him down. And Ricciardo is starting to carve his way through the Ferraris and the Mercs. So he's jumped Raikkonen, and he's, what, 11 points off of Vettel. In the Constructors, we're only 54 points off of the lead. That is too, well, we can really gain that in the next few races. But there you have it. I hope you did enjoy this race. And if you did, remember to give it a like, comment and subscribe for more. So we'll see you in the next one.